Let's talk about what detoxing actually is, because a lot of people have confusion over this. They think that they should be drinking 10 spinach juices a day and putting turmeric and lemon and all this stuff. And some other think, oh, I should be drinking raw milk, it's gonna help me to detox. You need to understand detox is when things that were in your body that weren't supposed to be there leave. This is the definition of detoxing. And so, with this in mind, acne is not a detox process. There is a limiting belief that you have, or brain fog, or feeling tired and having sleep issues, or having to tissue yourself every time, or gut issues, gut pain. This is not a detox, none of this, because this is all a cope, and it doesn't mean you're actually healthy because you are releasing toxins. Like that's what I used to tell myself. I used to tell myself, "Oh, me having acne, this is actually healthy because my body is detoxing toxins. Therefore, it's not affecting my organs or something." That was a lie. What is actually going on here is just eye inflammation and leaky gut, for example. Depends on the root cause. But the truth is, something is going on and something is wrong because a primitive man in a natural environment would not have acne. And they still are around toxins and they still detox from them, but they would not have acne. So this is an inflammation issue. And so, greatest state of health equals greatest energy efficiency. This is what good health looks like. When we remove harmful stuff, like we detox, we become more energy efficient, which causes better energy, better sleep, better skin, breathing better, better mood. So you see how it's counter opposite. If you detox, you have better energy efficiency. Therefore, you should have better skin, not acne. That doesn't make sense. So here are some things that make you less energy efficient. We have air pollution, pesticides like glyphosate, BPAs and microplastics, dioxins like bleached paper, alcohol, seed oils, heavy metals, all these stuff are gonna make you less energy efficient. So detox versus evolution. You don't change anything in the environment, you feel good, and then you get diarrhea, a flu, a cold, mucus in the throat. This is detox because no variable change. This is what actually detox is. Is it detoxing or not? That's the number one step. That's what we need to ask ourselves. Like after we get a symptom like diarrhea, flu, acne, or anything like that, we must ask, is this detoxing or not? And by knowing this, like by seeing, okay, did I change any variable? So is this detox or not? Then we know if there's an issue to fix or not in the first place. And so let's actually see what evolution would look like when it comes down to detoxing. For example, leaky gut can also cause more inner damage. For example, you are drinking raw milk and you get acne, diarrhea, and you think it's detoxing, but it's actually causing you even bigger issues, you having this stuff because of the leaky gut. It's literally reinforcing the issues. And if you just added this new variable, which is raw milk, and you got acne from it, it's not a detox. It's simply the raw milk causing you acne, causing you these issues. So with leaky gut, you have small perforations in the small intestine, a leaky gut which penetrates, which creates pollution from the food you eat. So with leaky gut, you might be eating healthy, but that food is damaging you even more. Common symptoms with leaky gut is arthritis. This is undigested food particles are exiting through the skin. They also accumulate in the skeletal system slash joints. So if you have knees popping and knees problems, this can come from toxins, excess toxins in those stored around the joints because that's where they get stored. And leaky gut is gonna give you that. So if the body knows that if we detox, it will cause more damage than storing it, then it stores it. But if it knows it doesn't take much energy and it will be worse to store, then it detoxes. So that's what the body does. If it sees that detoxing is the best way, he does it. But if he sees that detoxing will cause more damage than storing it, he will store it. And that's why you develop that stuff around the joints. So you need to understand to fix this stuff, you need energy. Your body requires energy in order to detox from these things. And Because why do we need energy? Because water holds energy, water in your body, and you're made out of 60% of water. So the more charged your water is, the easy water, the better, because you can take electrons from it. You need more quality water in you to hold more energy. That's the goal. So you need to focus on hydration, which we have covered many times in here. And this is going to lead to high redox. High redox equals high charge in the water. And healthy people have low redox, and so they have low libido, are sensitive to anything. As soon as they eat something, they get acne, brain fog, and they live in constant pain, like I used to literally. And so sunlight charges the water, increases your redox. UV light gives you melanin, which protects you from heavy metals because they bind into them. By the way, I wrote redox wrong here and here. I don't know why, man, but ignore it. Microorganisms. This is another thing to keep in mind. Small intestine bacteria growth like SIBO, Candida, yeast problem because you were exposed to something like glyphosate and yeast. It's doing its role, or you ate a ton of sugar and killed probiotics. This is what these issues come from. And so, things like your hair are actually able to detox. You're detoxing heavy metals through the air. This is why shaving your head is not necessarily a good idea. If you do a buzz cut, you don't fully shave your hair, but still, this is why our body literally wants to grow the hair. Then skin can also detox from there, like it will cause the SIBO, candida. Then your erectum and pee will be detox mechanisms. Then the nose, airwax, bile, all this stuff will be used to detox. Then understand EMF dehydrates you, as we have went over in the EMF fixing the environment section. So you gotta avoid EMF to have good water, to have good energy. Then elevated hematocrit and hemoglobin and burn and to creatine ratio is like a 20 to 1 is low, and you should have and above is also low, like above 20 to 1. So you're probably dehydrated in this section. So your goal should be closer to 7 1 and 10 1. This is good. With these metrics right here in your blood results. So good hydration equals good redox equals good natural detox. Man, I wrote redox wrong. God damn it. You get my point. So let's keep going. So magnetism and DMSA. Dr. Dean Honvey works to remove heavy metals. So this is stuff from Dr. Dean. Okay, around this stuff, this will help you to detox heavy metals. Then iodine consumption to detoxify halogens and protect you from radiation. Seafood and consuming natural clays is also good for this. Then increasing your redox. We went over this already, but just to remind you, sunlight exposure, cold exposure, mitochondria increases heat, infrared light, which then recycles this energy. It's like you have small suns inside of you, literally. And so then the liver is also really good to detox. It runs two phases. Phase one modifies toxins, often via enzymes. Then phase two binds them to make them easier to leave the body. What actually supports this detox naturally? Adequate protein, okay, you need amino acids, enough calories, micronutrients like zinc, selenium, B vitamins, hydration, and good bowel regularity. Then ADL is a measure on how well the liver is functioning and filtering the blood. LDL is about how much you can get cholesterol to other hormones like DHEA, progesterone, vitamin D3. All of these should be above 60 mg milligrams. They help detoxify because they travel in blood and can bind into toxins, therefore getting rid of them. So you need sunlight, UV, nutrient dense diet, high fat, seafood for DHA. You need all these things. Then you need lower deuterium levels for better mitochondria and to make better metabolic water. So if you live closer to the equator, the more okay is to have higher deuterium because of the sun. And then you gotta eat locally and seasonal, especially if you're in high latitude. Then cold exposure plus sunlight to get rid of the deuterium, of the excess deuterium. Then replace minerals like wheatgrass, kelp, seaweeds, or Celtic salt. These are really good for minerals. And the best detox is not needing to detox. Understand that. So no processed food, no hormone disruptors, no polyester. Switch to healthy stuff. So just like that, we covered how to actually have the best detox ever, which is simply improving your redux and avoiding all the nonsense in our day-to-day society, which is causing you issues in the first place and lowering your energy efficiency. That's the number one goal. If you have good energy efficiency, you will have good detox. Your body is able to detox naturally, man. You don't gotta overthink too much. And anybody that is going on and telling you to do all these crazy juices with spinach, raw milk to detox, they are pretty much lying to you in a way because the main focus, the 20% of the action which will get you 80% of the result, is fixing your redux, which will get you better energy efficiency and therefore be able to detox better because that requires energy, right? So that's how you fix this stuff. See you in the next one.